So last week, Putin gave another speech, and or he was doing a talk with some of his top officials and advisors, and he made a comment that blew up and went viral because this just shows that in 2022, all war is culture war. So let's take a look, and then I'll react.
They cancelled Joan Rowling recently, the children's author. Her books are published all over the world, even just because she didn't satisfy the demands of gender rights. They're not trying to cancel our country. I'm talking about the progressive discrimination of everything to do with Russia, this trend that's unfolding in a number of Western states with the full neglect or sometimes encouragement of Western cultures. That they're now engaging in the cancel culture.
They're now engaging of cancel culture and canceling the entire country of Russia, just like they did to J.K. Rowling. How is this real? How is this real? This reminds me of a story I just saw right before I came on air. So Elon Musk challenged Vladimir Putin to a fight, and the winner gets Ukraine. What? And Joe Rogan said on his podcast, like, yeah, I'll set that up. Like, I'll have Elon trained. I'll get Elon trained in like jujitsu and whatever. How do you even respond to this, man? All war is culture war. You're bringing up J.K. Rowling? By the way, when was J.K. Rowling most recently in the news? She was in the news because Vosh made a sexist joke and basically said, like, you know, women learn to shut up and listen challenge or something like that. And J.K. Rowling screen capped that and tweeted about it and said, like, this is just like my abusive husband, and you know, we're never going to shut up. Us feminists are never going to shut up, because she's a what's called a TERF, trans exclusionary radical feminist, and so she's relatively anti-trans while being a feminist. And I think, honestly, what may have happened was Putin saw the news story about J.K. Rowling and Vosh, and that's what led him to say this, because that's when she was most recently in the news for that. What? What? I'd like to know Vladimir Putin's thoughts on the feud between Jimmy Dore and the Young Turks. Vlad, please take the floor. What are your thoughts on Dave Chappelle's recent special? How do you respond to this? Okay, look. Taking a messed up position on trans rights is nowhere near as severe as illegally invading a country leading to the deaths of thousands or tens of thousands of civilians. I know, hot take, controversial one coming from Kyle Kulinski. But no, that he's saying they're trying to cancel Russia like they canceled J.K. Rowling. And is this also like an appeal to conservatives or something in the West? Is that what this is? Is he trying to say, hey, man, I'm part of the struggle. You know, you say one thing that's bad, and all of a sudden they want to cancel you. You invade one country, and all of a sudden, you know, they want to tear down your reputation. Look, on the one hand, it is absolutely true that there is now mania and hysteria and bigotry against Russians in the West. And I have a story on that later. The world's #1 tennis player is being unfairly maligned and potentially banned from Wimbledon because he's Russian. So I'll get to that story. We've covered the stories about, you know, they're banning Russian vodka in different places, and Russian cats were banned from a cat show. And you had at the Paralympics, they banned Russian and Belarusian athletes. Like, yes, there is this, you know, massive overreach and this bigotry and this xenophobia and this climate of mania and hysteria against Russian people. That is absolutely true. It is also the case, Vlad, that you illegally invaded a country and are responsible for the deaths of thousands or tens of thousands of innocent people. So, again, both of those things are very, very bad and shouldn't happen. One of them is categorically worse. It is. Neither one should happen. They both cross that moral threshold. Shouldn't be allowed. Shouldn't be going on. But what you're doing, and also let's be clear, that was the spark for everything. Like, you started the fire, dog. You started it. Yes, you got 1,000,001 different people throwing fuel on the fire and making it worse, but you started the whole shit. And now they want to cancel me just because I'm trying to take a country that's sovereign and not my own. It's the perfect distillation of what happens in the whole like cancel culture and wokeness dialogue. Eventually what happens is it's just the wet blanket that everybody throws over everything. So instead of like arguing what's going on the merits, it's you just skip right to, you're canceling me. This is wokeness run amok. And it's just a way to shut down further conversation about it. Just call anything, even if it's genuinely bad, just call it wokeness or cancel culture. If you genuinely did something wrong, just be like, the woke mob's coming for me. So then the specifics no longer matter. Everybody shuts their brain off and they view it as like, you know, the brave truth tellers versus the oversensitive pricks. And we've seen it time and time again. You know, there's a number of times where I've seen Republicans just argue for something wrong, just like incorrect. How many times have I seen Republicans argue, Guantanamo Bay, we should double Guantanamo Bay, we should do more torture. And then when people are like, hey, that's fucked up, like, wokeness run amok, cancel culture coming for me simply because I'm pro-torture. Yeah, people should disagree with you and explain why that's wrong on that issue. Originally, the idea of being overly woke or cancel culture, the whole idea was like, you're trying to ban people who have unpopular opinions from social media or from giving speeches. That was the original idea. Now cancel culture just morphed into anything. Anything. As long as you accuse your detractors of doing cancel culture or being too woke, it's like you get to skate and you get to pretend like you're the victim. That's the gist. I think that's the heart of why this annoys me so much. It's like playing like you're the victim as you are clearly the aggressor. That's what it is. She's trying to do solidarity with J.K. Rowling. I think she came out and like denounced him or something. I don't know. I didn't see her reaction. I heard through the grapevine that may have happened. But, man. Who knew that Vladimir Putin was like super online and super immersed in like, you know, the nooks and crannies of American culture? It's crazy. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.